What's up guys, Barry Gaming here, back with some more AFK Journey, and today we're going to be talking more about the newest celestial hero, Dunlingr. So he's been an interesting hero. While everybody had Supreme Plus on the test server, he seemed to be a pretty solid PvP pick. However, now that people have gotten him to Paragon like 4, I know that's kind of crazy, even Paragon 1 and above, he really does lack a few things even when it comes to PvP. He does seem to lack damage reduction and survivability tools, while he is able to, lock out enemies from their ultimates while also allowing one ally to use their ultimate. That kind of is a negative at this point because of one major hero that you still see a lot in PvP, and that's Lily May, because Lily May is still going to stop that one hero. We kind of thought he'd be used in a lot of DNL teams, and again, it's weird because on the test server when everybody's on like that equal playing field, he felt really good. However, when you get into real life and you have stronger heroes on the enemy team, potentially even weaker ones on the enemy team, that's where the issue really starts arising here. And you gotta remember, we even have plus 15 allowing him to give additional attack and additional haste to the ally. And honestly, this whole spellbind, unable to cast ultimates, I feel like has been a huge negative. What I've actually found better uses for him with has been the Cure Lock version, unable to recover HP for others. And again, this hero is mainly just a PvP hero, sadly. There's not many uses for him in other game modes. However, I have found some really cool strategies, especially burst team strategies, that have worked pretty well. And it does involve setting him to this purple mode right here and putting a hero like Damien in the back, meaning our team can still heal. However, the enemy team will not be able to. I've actually been playing around with a lot of DNL teams too. I've not been a big fan of him. I'm kind of almost regretting building him because I know he's only a PvP hero, and yet I like using other PvP heroes in this current meta. Running a squad like this is honestly something I really enjoy. You will see a ton of Freestos popping up, but the one thing I will say, you'll see these teams that have, like Haywin, they'll have Coco. Stopping them from healing the enemies or the allies team is actually a big thing, and I'm going to show you guys something here in a little bit too, because we have a few attempts, so we're going to go ahead and do all those attempts here today. We're going to go for the lock version too. An anti-burst or like a burst team that doesn't allow the enemy team to heal actually works pretty solid here. So you can see we still have that aura up, which is working very well here. We don't want the enemy team to be able to heal here. So you can see they are starting to get some healing off, which is a little bit annoying because, again, if Dunlingr's ability was like up all the time, I could see it being very good. But like, I almost feel like you need to run a Rowan team with him to really feed the energy into Dunlingr so that you can constantly keep that active. But preventing the enemy team from healing at certain times is good. Again, you'll notice right there, Dunlingr's biggest issue, even tied to a Thorin, is 100% his survivability. I feel like that is the biggest issue with the hero right now, and being that he's a tank, he just really isn't that tanky of a hero. What I want to show you guys, and I want to see if I can get any of these teams to actually work pretty well here. Don't want to go up against any allies. A very heavy burst comp has been working very well in the fact that we're essentially going to be using this team here where we're going to go for a lot of damage right out of the gate, and we're going to be using some combos that we used to use, including someone like Alsa. So these teams usually will survive from, the initial burst. They'll get some healing output and such. What we want to do is we want to just inflict as much damage as possible as quickly as possible. Now you could say you could substitute other heroes out, like you could put DNL in, but sadly his damage does seem to suffer once in a while. The other thing I've actually found that can be useful is throwing Nara in a team like this. So if you don't want to use someone like a Talene, throwing in a Nara, especially if you want to pull like that enemy healer over to make sure you kill them before they get a chance to do something pretty nasty to your team, that can work out pretty cool. And again, we don't really have any healers. Our main goal here is to just get the big burst at the beginning of the battle. Granted, you have to remember Aaron's not going to get that off immediately because the enemy Lily May will happen no matter what. Our hope is that he can survive, although the situation might be better if we don't run an Aaron here. Because again, he gets that initial one interrupted on both sides. We stop any and all healing. I wonder if he actually gets to another ultimate. Probably not. and that's why him and Alsa are not the best combo. But Nara in this situation does end up working out very well, because she's going to be able to execute these enemies very, very easily. And I feel like that's a really cool use of Nara right now, is in PvP being able to grab those enemies, drag them into your side of the battlefield, and just taking control of it. So stopping Taylene from getting that off is good. But again, I feel like this strategy could have worked just as well, or if not better, if we didn't have Dunlingr on the battlefield and we had someone else in his place. Like, it's just how I feel right now with the hero. He does have some uses. I do think his Cure Lock is an okay ability here. And you can see lots of damage going in. If we are facing an enemy Lily May, we pretty much have to just assume that, yeah, we're not going to be able to get that initial burst off. So again, Lily May's here. Running him is kind of like a negative. Like, there almost isn't a point in doing it. We could run some other heroes like Liliana. We could run Scarlita, which might be a good one too. Or we could always just throw Damien in the mix, because, you know, Damien is actually, if we put him in the correct location here, we can get him to be the one that is going to basically be able to still heal the entire ally team. We're going to go over to this, and let's see how this one works out right here. So we stop the Aaron. We are going to hook someone over to our side of the battle, or at least we tried to, but they did have that enlightening spell, so I did target the wrong person right there. Also doesn't get her ultimate off, and really without, that's the one thing, without Aaron, Alsa's initial burst just doesn't really happen, but we can't get that burst to go off if Lily May is involved. We'd almost have to run like a Brian on our team too to make this actually work. And then even then, it's a little iffy how that works. I'm surprised at how good Nara is in PvP. I think tomorrow I want to make a whole video about like Graveborn PvP, because a Graveborn team can actually do some amazing things. It does feel bad though when we don't have our own Scarlita on the battlefield, because, well, Scarlita just does so many great things. We need to get to our dash right away here. Uh-oh. Come on, dash. There we go. Can we get the kill? Can we get the kill? We got one kill, but the enemies... Oh, no, yep. The enemy Lily May did out kind of maneuver us here. And again, most of these battles, I feel like if we didn't put Dunlingr in, we'd probably be in a much better spot. And it's not that he's a bad hero, it's just in the current meta, he just doesn't fit with his survivability. You need a tank role, and he doesn't really fill that tank role very well, in my opinion. Honestly, I feel like doing something like this, in this situation, I do not see a Lily May. So doing something like this is actually kind of a cool strategy here. So we are going to pull over. Can we grab the DNL? We can grab the DNL, although I guess Aaron and Nara together is this weird combo that might not work. Let's see how this goes. Let's see. So Nara is gonna pull after this grouping, which the grouping is kind of the main important part, because it gets Alsa's rocks up there. And all that damage from Aaron and Alsa cannot be healed either, which is kind of nice. But I mean, going up against the DNL team is not easy, especially when he goes up in the air right there. Having heroes that revive is like one of the best strategies against DNL teams, it feels like, because you can kill them, they come back, and then you have another shot. Meanwhile, Dunlingr is just standing here doing absolutely nothing on the battlefield, like literally nothing. So as good as this Cure Lock can be good, it just seems like he does suffer some issues of survivability. His damage output isn't bad. I mean, he actually got the victory right there, so you guys can see it can actually work out, and he can be the best hero on the battlefield. But again, that Cure Lock is kind of what saved us right there, and it wasn't the main ability, it was his Cure Lock ability that got us the victory. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know how you guys are using Dunlingr if you did build him. Honestly, I would say this is a hard pass for just about every player out there. Even Wales, I mean, you don't really need this hero. He does have some niche uses in AFK battles and stuff. So let me know what you guys think. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. I'll see you guys next time.